All right, it claims we're live. Welcome to another High Tide Imbibe. Do another beer review, and this time it is kind of an old beer for my review. Something I've sort of done before, but it's kind of a revision. This is Garrison Brewing, and this is their All Lit Up. This is their strong ale, winter brew, spiced ale, winter warmer, however you want to put it. Garrison used to make their winter warmer back when they were bottling stuff a lot more frequently with their specials. Used to release it like every year for a while there. And this is kind of just I want to say repackaging and reformulation. I think there's some new stuff in here that wasn't previously in some of their older versions of this beer. 7% alcohol by volume. And we got a bunch of ingredients here. Not only do we have some on the can, but then they, on their website, have like the malt bill and stuff like that. So we'll get into that. So ingredients: water, barley malt, hops, demerara sugar, laurel leaves, raisins, and spices. So it says that on there. By the way, their cans are way too busy. I remember years ago on the old Hoagley beer reviews, I used to complain that their labels were just across the board, like maybe a little too minimalist, like there was nothing on them. Now they just put way too much shit on their labels. They went the other direction with that stuff. But we'll just take a look at this on the website too. It says 20 IBUs. It uses pale Munich caramel and chocolate malts and Brewer's Gold. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. Close that down. Here we go. So looking at it there, it's definitely a hazy, orangey red. It's sort of the orangey red amber there. Kind of a whiskey color, actually. Generating a little bit of a sort of cream colored head there. Straight to the aroma. The sugar really does come out. You just get like that sort of, as Terry Kay would often say back in the day, blackstrap molasses kind of thing going on there. Definitely get a little bit of the cinnamon. Not much cloves, but a little bit of cinnamon. I see Chris in the chat there off the 10th. How you doing, man? I'm not too bad. Been better, but won't get into that. Won't turn off the audience with my misfortune. Yeah, so the cloves aren't big. There's just a little bit of cloves in this. It's more the cinnamon and the sugar that's really coming out here. And there's a little bit of a chocolatey kind of undercurrent to it coming from the malt, no doubt. The raisin smell sort of it blends a little too much in with the cloves and the sugar, and so it's kind of hard to pick it out distinctly. It's a very nice little mishmash of everything into one, like overall kind of aroma, and it's not like you can just sort of separately pinpoint everything and sort of pick it out. It's not like sharp notes. It's all very smooth, kind of creamy. If smells could be creamy, yeah, you get my drift. I think you do anyway. Well, good to hear you're good, man. Drawing a little bit more, I'm getting more of a vegetal thing under there. Just like I think some of it's from the cloves and some of it's from what did they say it was like again? Fucking laurel leaves. I have no fucking idea what laurel leaves are supposed to be like. So who knows? Could be just a filler adjunct, as far as I know. So cheers. We're going right to the taste. Oh, wow. Okay. Sam Squatch 1996 says, good evening. How you doing, sir? Chris says, good creamy smells. Yeah, good creamy smells. Not you know, the ones that get really stinky if you don't, clean your socks afterwards or whatever. So it does have a spicy kick to it. The cloves come out in the actual flavor more than they do the aroma here. So you're getting that sort of noticeable little clove kick. It's not super big, so if you're adverse to cloves, it's not like you're getting that full impact of that. So it's not a big turn off or anything like that. I don't mind cloves at all, in beer anyway. So it's fine. I could even take a bit more, honestly. Sam Squinch says he's good. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. But the big thing here is the Demerara sugar mixing with the cinnamon. The cinnamon spiciness in this is pretty big. It's not cinnamon hearts level or anything like that, right? But it's there. It's definitely there. It's the prevalent note in this. And I seem to recall back in the day that it was when this was in its sort of previous incarnation, it wasn't the cinnamon that was super big in these. But I could be lying there. I'm going to have to actually... I should have rewatched my reviews of their old winter warmer to see. But it seems like they've dialed in on some different aromas here and different flavors with their repackaging and sort of reformulation of this thing. If indeed it is a reformulation. Maybe someone from Garrison is watching and could correct me, or just someone who knows the brewery a bit better and frequents, their taps and all that stuff. But who knows? But yeah, it's good. A little thin on the body. It's approaching sort of like light bodied. I'd want it a bit more medium bodied, honestly. Oh, yeah, you know what? I take that back. It's like lower medium bodied. It's fine. It is spicy. It seems a little less complex than their old winter warmer was. And it definitely doesn't have as much of a kind of a sweetness and kind of a dark fruit thing prevalent throughout the flavor. I seem to recall the old one was a bit more on the actual raisiny side of things. I mean, they still got raisins and shit in this, but it's not as big in the actual flavor. Like I said, the raisins were a little bit bigger in the actual aroma, but not in the flavor so much. It's very dialed back. It's fine. It's a good spicy winter beer. I mean, it does the trick. It's probably one that's designed for mass appeal though, because it's not too spicy or anything like that. Like it's not super big on the spice. It's a very smooth drinker for being a spiced beer. The alcohol is masked very well. 7%, you don't get it at all. And yeah, I mean, this is Garrison in 2020. This is what they're doing, and it's still good. So I do have nostalgia for the old winter warmer, but this is fine. I actually hesitated buying this because it's been out for a couple years now. They've released it every winter for at least 2 or 3 years now, I think, in this format, and then this reformulation or whatever. But and I just kind of put off getting it because I was like, oh, it can't possibly be as good as the old winter warmer was, which was a beer I loved. And in a way, it definitely isn't. as good, but it's still pretty damn good. It's kind of just different. It's not so much it's shitty, it's just different. And yeah. So as a spiced beer, and I've been rambling way too long now. So as a spiced beer, winter warmer, style wise, I'm going to throw a solid 8 at it. I've definitely had better. Chris says dumbed down beer, unfortunate. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, but they've got a bigger consumer base now. That shit happens. And I mean, they want to sell beer, and their past winter warmers were kind of a niche beer. This is much more commercially acceptable, I guess, which is disappointing, but it's still good beer. At the end of the day, it's just not as good as the old one. So, Dickie's Beer Reviews says, "Hey, hello." So yeah, style wise, gonna give it an 8. Definitely had better of this sort of thing. Overall enjoyment, I can't lie and say I enjoyed it as much as their old winter warmer, but it's still really good. I'm gonna throw a 7 at it. That's where we're gonna sit. So the Garrison, all lit up. They're winter seasonal. They're spiced beer. Yeah, 8 for style, 7 for enjoyment, and that's where we sit at it. Wow, way more people tuned in. You guys must not have anything going on this Monday night, eh? Let's see what Dickie's Beer Review says here. I don't give number ratings. I just drink beer as an amateur, but I'm going to start homebrewing, and I can fuck up some beer. Well, that's the best way to do it, at least for the first few batches anyway. Yeah. I just give number ratings more to give a general impression to people. It's not like it's a scientifically derived formula that I've come to or anything like that. It's just, give people a ballpark. Ashley Sexton says it's either you or the dishes, Lee. Well, you're still going to have to do the dishes eventually, dude, because I'm ending this in a second. And Dickie's Beer Review says he shared the video. Oh, thank you very much. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. And we're going to take off. And until next time, cheers. Have a good night, guys.